I run into people all the time. They'll say, John, I just don't feel close to God. I just haven't connected with God for a while. And they'll look at me and say, what do you think I should do? Oh, I said, that's so simple. My gosh, you gave me an easy one. Hey, just go serve people. Just go serve people. Because you see, every time you serve a person, you serve Jesus. One of the books that I revised about a year ago was Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. And one of the things I love about my writing anymore is I've written to the business and secular audience so long, and they know me now so well that I can get by with a lot of stuff. It's just beautiful. I can just be salt and light, and it's just I'm trying to be respectful and value everybody, but I just am slipping in all the time. Just the other day I was doing a Q&A with a secular business company, and then they mentioned, they said, well, now you're a person of faith. And how does that affect your leadership? Oh, I said, it's everything. I said, do you know everything I've learned about leadership is from the Bible? And they're all looking at me. You're kidding. Oh, I said, I'll tell you something that'll surprise you more. They said, what's that? I said, everything you know about leadership is from the Bible too. Yeah. It is. Oh, this is so huge. I said, you're good people. You just don't have a clue. But you're good people. You're good people. You're good people. I said, let me explain it to you. I said, any of you in the audience, give me any leadership principle that you just really love, that you just have bought into, that you practice. Just give me the leadership principle, and I'll tell you exactly where you can find that in the Bible. And they started giving me this, and I said, oh, yes, that reminds me of the story here and there. And then after a while, they just kind of like, they got real quiet. Now, this is incredible. I'm talking about connecting with people. So in Developing Leader 2.0, one of the chapters I have in it is on serving people. And so I'm going to give you these 5 things that I really work on in serving. Number 1 is I don't rely on my position or title. Okay? I don't rely on it. Jesus said, you don't want to rely on those things. In fact, when I'm speaking at a convention many times in the green room, they'll come in with my bio and they'll say, now this is what we're going to introduce you with and the whole deal. And I'll say, do you really have to do that? I say, so well, how do you want us to introduce you? I said, well, just tell them my name's John. I'm their friend. I'll come out on stage and I'll talk to them. You see, I learned a long time ago, if you're good, you don't need an introduction. And you can't tell you something, if you're bad, a great introduction won't help you. I've listened to some speakers and I've just thought, well, could we go back to the introduction? It was better. It was just better. And the second thing I've done is I choose to believe in people. And I choose to not only believe in people, I choose to believe in their potential. It was my father who gave me the great advice. Believe in people, value people, unconditionally love people. If you'll just do those 3 things, John, he said, you'll have an incredible ministry. So when I go to these conventions, they always walk me in the back way. And, the crowd's out there and they're walking me in the back way, taking me to the green way. So in every convention in America, I walk through the kitchens most of the time. So, it's just, you just show me a kitchen of a convention center and I can tell you where it is. I'm just really major on kitchens. And they're walking me through the kitchen and they're trying to rush me through and the people are there and I just love to mess them up and I walk real slow. And I'm not real slow. I introduce myself to them and ask them what they do, what they serve, or, and sometimes I'll pull my camera out and say, let's take a picture. Can I have a picture of you? And they're just loving it. They're loving it. And the people they're just not loving it at all. And I just love messing with them. You know what I'm doing? I'm valuing people. I'm just trying to be Jesus-like. Just trying to value people. I try to see things, number 3, I try to see things from the perspective of others. And number 4, I create an environment of encouragement. I try to create an environment of encouragement. It was my father who said, John, encouragement is the oxygen of the soul. Such a great man, such a great encourager. fact, I was just with him a few days ago, and he's 97 now. And in fact, I got a picture of him. Want to see a picture of my dad? Here's Dad, right there. There's Dad. Look at him. Doesn't he look good? 97. Doesn't he look great? I got good genes. There's hope for me. I was talking to Dad. We were taking him out to lunch. And I said, Dad, as long as I live, you're going to live. I mean, you may die, but you'll still live. Because I love people like you love people. And I want to add value to people, and I want to serve people like you. And so I'm talking to him about all the things I'm doing. And I said, just remember this, Dad. You know, you're 97, but as long as I live, you're going to live because we're going to serve people. And my dad just listened to all that. And when I get done, he just raises both hands and says, hallelujah, hallelujah. And you know, he's had 2 strokes, and he's broken 6 ribs. And it just keeps coming back. And the 5th thing is I measure my success on how much value I add to other people. Wow. So let me tell you, let me wrap it up with a story here. I was in my second church, and I was really wanting to grow it, and it was really growing, and I was spending a lot of time with leaders, building leaders, training leaders, helping them help minister to others, equipping the saints to do the work of the ministry. That's what I was really doing. And it was really going well, and so I was very busy. I spent an incredible amount of time working with leaders, teaching them how to lead people, train people. So here we go. And one day on my schedule, I noticed that a person was coming to my office, and I didn't know who they were, but I knew they weren't on my leader list. So I asked my sister, I said, it was a fellow by the name of Brent Johnson. I said, who's Brent Johnson? And she said, well, you know, Pastor, he's not a leader, but she said, he really wants to see you for a few moments. And so I said he could see you. And I wasn't, be honest with you, I wasn't really happy, because I thought, okay, I'm trying to train leaders, and here comes this guy I don't even know who he is. So he comes into the office, and I wish I could act like I was saintly, but I wasn't saintly. Okay. I'm just not that good enough. You know, my dad's a saint. When he goes to heaven, he'll be right beside Jesus. When I go to heaven, I'll be in some outlet with a satellite somewhere. You know what I mean? And so he came in. He came in, and so I looked at him and I said, "Okay, how can I help you?" And he looked at me and said, "I didn't come to ask for help." Okay. What do you need? He said, "Nothing." Okay. Why are you here? And he said, I'm here because I'd like to serve you. He said, I'm not a leader. I don't have leadership gifts. And I've been for the last 2 months. He said, I love what's happening in our church. And for the last 2 months, I've been asking God how I can serve you, what I can do for you that'll help you lift the load. And he said, I have this idea now. And he said, I'd like to throw it by you if you can. I said, well, sure, what is it? He said, you have to do errands. You're busy and have things. I said, yeah. He said, okay. He said, I would like to come in at Thursday noon every week, and I would like to do all of your errands for you so you don't have to spend your time doing that. He said, I'll do your dry cleaning. I'll go wash your car. He said, just make the list. He said, of all the money. And he said, that way you can spend more time with leaders. He said, would you let me serve you? And by this time I'm crying, and I'm saying, well, yeah. But before you serve me, would you just pray for me to get saved again? Woe is me, I'm very unclean. Right? Are you with me? Huh? Would you just pray for me to, for 7 years, every Thursday, he'd come and do errands for me. It changed my life about adding value to people and serving people, because sometimes when people say, well, I don't know if I could do that. I don't even know if I have those kind of, listen to me. The moment that we really have a desire to add value to other people, our whole life will begin to change. I'm going to share with you right now 5 things I do every day. And I want you to do them every day in this year. And I will promise you, your life is about to incredibly change. And all 5 of these things I'm going to give you right now, you can do them. These aren't hard. These aren't complicated. Everyone. So look at your neighbor you're sitting beside and say to them, even you can do this, okay? Tell them, even you can do this, okay? All right, here we go. Every day, number one, every day I value people. And that's the foundation of everything we're talking about. If I don't value people, I'll never add value to them. I'll manipulate them. I'll do all kind of bad things. But it all begins with valuing people. Does that make sense to you? So every day I value people. By the way, that's Jesus-like. That's what Jesus, if you say you want to be Christ-like, just value people. Every day I value people. Number two, every day I think of ways to add value to people. In other words, I'll look at my schedule in the morning, and I'll say where I'm going to go, who I'm going to see perhaps, and I'll say, okay, what can I do to add value to those people? I think of ways to add value to people. Number three, every day I look for ways to add value to people. So that when I'm with you, I'm looking for something. What can I do for right now? What can I do for them that would add value to them? So every day I value people. Think of ways to add value to people. Look for ways to add value to people. Number four, every day I do things that value people. Every day. In fact, at the end of the day, the last thing I do every evening is I do a 10-minute inventory of my day. And one of the questions I ask is, who did I add value to today? Who did I serve today? Okay? Every day. Every day. I value people. Think of ways to add value to people. Look for ways to add value to people. Do things that add value to people. And number five, I encourage others to add value to people. I do those 5 things every day.